Hello, I'll talk about like the certain choices I have for desktops. I'm like so obsessed with like desktop pictures. Like some people will know I keep filtering through like online or like just basically on the phone of pictures I've taken outside, and I would just basically choose them and then rotate them in 1 hour per desktop sort of thing. I love doing that, and I believe that desktop can influence our mood and our way of thinking. Not just our mood, but also our way of thinking. What I mean by that is, let me just give a quick example, or two examples. I have all kinds of desktops in terms of variety, in terms of color, etc. I usually go for like very humble looking desktops, like vacant or non-urban, sunset or like barren desert or like Egypt pyramid. That may not seem humble, but Egyptian pyramid, it's a shape, a triangle, 3D, and it's very simple. And I usually don't go for like desktops are full of like a complicated architecture or like a wizard's castle or in the middle of a forest, those kind of things, because it gives me a sense that there's abundance in terms of resources, right? I want to feel scarce so that it can keep me humble, right? So that's how it can influence my way of thinking or, influence my mood. And I feel like desktops rule the world, actually. I'm obsessed. I don't know how to like prove my obsession with desktops, but maybe I should talk more excitedly. I don't know, but I always pick these desktops that reminds me of my past. Like it could be like elementary school or like in the middle of like ocean or like Hawaii, where I went to vacation several times in my life, and I enjoyed those. It's all these memories, right? Like who doesn't do that, right? I'm not the exception to the rule. But I'm so proud of these two desktops that I chose last night. One is like a train. Why? Because to me it's kind of like a metaphor of Noah's Ark, right? Like who I want to be with at the end of time, who I want to in the process of journeying into the wild, who I want to like tag along or bring along as friends and family, right? Like I don't filter people too much. I'm not paranoid. I don't like filter people too much. I'm diverse in my choice of friends, but also like this is I use desktop as a reminder in terms of influencing how I think. A picture of a train, right? It's not just the theme of journey, but also like, okay, I really have to think carefully. Who do I trust in a world of apocalypse, or not even an apocalypse? It could be just like a 30 minutes train trip, right? Who would I trust to be my companions, etc. And so that's an important question that I think in a lifetime, indirectly, everyone knows this logic. Like it's important who you associate with, who you hang out with. Are these friends making you feel happy? Are these friends moving you towards your goal? Are these friends like cheering you on in dark times and cheer you on in bright times? That kind of thing. So it's kind of symbolic, philosophical, and I like that picture. And also another picture I have is a picture of an owl. An owl. Yeah, a wise choice. And why I chose that is that how like owls in Harry Potter, like they send messages. You write your message and then put it in the claws of the owls, and then they send it off. This is actually in relation to like my yesterday's video of like effective communication should be used responsibly. So with that kind of desktop, I kind of indirectly remind me of what it means to be a responsible communicator, how I present myself to the world, how I talk, how I behave, etc. Expression of communication, if you will. And so like I indirectly remind myself that nothing in the world you say will not be looked at, and that there's always people looking, and so the owl symbolize that. And the owl may be like, as it takes the message from you, it might just fly hundreds of feet into the night sky and then take a peep at what you've written in the message. So like, this is my own creative way to like keep me in check, keep me modest in terms of like what kind of person I want to present myself as to the world. And so these are two are my sort of favorite, not sort of, really favorite desktops now. Like I landed on these two and I'm proud of them. I won't show the pictures. I just want to like stimulate this certain interest in this realm of desktops. And some friends of mine and some family of mine will know how I am obsessed with desktops. And so like yeah, that's probably the choices of my desktop. And thank you for hearing me on this random topic of desktops. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe it inspired inner creativity, or maybe it made you think things, etc. And I hope to say that desktops, they rule the world because they influence us indirectly through mood and our way of thinking before we know it. We usually don't, stare at the desktop a lot. Like we don't stare at them. Desktops, like you open files, you read, you write emails, etc. And you hardly notice, but it's the first thing we see when we open our laptops and the last thing we see when we're done with it for the day. Thank you for hearing me. Godspeed. And yeah, hoo hoo.